pagi kepada semua. Okay, so welcome to today's webinar entitled Academic Writing Using R Markdown. So our speaker for today's webinar is Mr. Kamarul Ariffin. So Mr. Kamarul is one of the members of UiTM Training Kedah. Okay, so he has served UiTM for almost 20 years since March 2002. Okay, so now I will pass the floor to Mr. Kamarul to start his webinar.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim and Salam Sejahtera. Thank you, Puan Asmahani. Hopefully everybody can hear my voice. Boleh dengar Is it clear? Boleh Alright. Okay, so I've seen familiar faces in the room now. So basically, just a sharing session to our members over here. So nobody out of our campus. So semua dah kenal saya. Madam Ho Cucu ada, jiran sebelah bilik pun ada, Puan Anita. Okay, right. So I will share my screen with you. So whatever that I'm going to share with you today will just be a fundamental one. And then you can see that why we use R Markdown in academic writing and what we can do by using R Markdown. So this is not the only software that you can use, not the only tools that you can use in order to write your academic or manuscript, or maybe other publications. So this is one of the tools. So ada tools lain yang kita boleh gunakan, sama ada kita boleh gunakan Julia pun boleh, kita gunakan Python pun boleh dan sebagainya lah. And all of these are basically free to use. Okay, it is basically free to use. Alright, so let me just share with you my screen so that we can go through whatever that I have prepared for you. As I mentioned earlier, this one is just the fundamental, and basically actually we already prepared for the intermediate to advanced course on this part. It is scheduled in, if I'm not mistaken, in September. Okay, it's September. It's supposed to be next month, but unfortunately the speaker is not available, so we have to reschedule to September. Okay, so let me just share with you my screen so that we can see whatever on the screen saya. Alright. Okay, can everybody see my screen?
Boleh, Encik Kamarul.
Nampak Alright, okay. So this is R Markdown workshop. So basically this is just a fundamentals on R Markdown, what it can do in terms of helping you in your day-to-day life as a lecturer, as a researcher, and so on. So it will be a short one for the first part, and then we're just going to continue with a hands-on, whereby you can follow through with me secara online without installing any software. So if you want to install that, maybe later, right? So we're just going to use the online version for this part so that everybody can follow through together. Okay. So this is our topic for today. So academic writing with R Markdown. So basically what we are looking into here right now is actually how are we going to perform our academic writing using tools like R Markdown. So this, as I mentioned earlier, this is an introduction to R Markdown so that you get to use it with R Markdown, how to incorporate your R Markdown document into your academic writing. So before we go through to that one, let's just go through one video over here and you can see what is going on the use of R Markdown. So maybe the sound won't be available, but you just look at the pictures, right? Okay, so that is a little bit on the introduction part. So if you can look at the video, actually, what we can see from the video is actually whenever you do, you write your academic writing. So when you perform your writing, your manuscript, if you are doing a quantitative research, normally what you have to do is in terms of doing the analysis over and over again before you get the final analysis and publish it in your document, in your article, right? So this is the thing that sometimes is very hectic, sometimes is chaotic, sometimes give problems to all of you, maybe in terms of reproducing everything all over again one by one. So that what it says just now. So sometimes bila kita nak lakukan satu-satu analisa tu, kita tak boleh lakukan secara sekali je. So you run it once and then you get everything perfectly correct. So that is not supposed to be in the real world, right? So normally you have to do several times the analysis, and then afterwards, then you will get the final answer. So if you are writing a manuscript and if this is happening, so you keep changing your data and you keep running your analysis all over again one by one until you get the final result, it will be very hectic to do it. All right. So one way to do it is by using our Markdown, whereby you can incorporate the analysis together with the manuscript writing at one shot. Okay. So let me just go through the slides and you can see it further. What am I talking about? All right. So let me just make it a full screen over here. Okay, this is the plan. So we have two modules actually in my presentation. It's supposed to be two modules, but for today's session, I'm just gonna follow through the first module, that is the fundamentals, why are Markdown, and the basic syntax of Markdown and code, and also the final piece, how to come up with a citation and cross-referencing. So at the end of the session, we're gonna do a hands-on session whereby we can perform a hands-on session on how to create a manuscript and article, a fundamental articles in order to start with your writing. Okay, the second module will be the application, but this one is not covered for today's session. So this one I left for our upcoming event that will be held in September, which will be delivered by one of our colleagues from our partner university, that is from Ecological University of Bucharest. He will be performing a 2-day workshop on this part. Okay, so for today's session, just basically an introduction to our Markdown. Okay, any questions so far? Okay, the idea is that when you look into that particular video just now that I have just shown you, would it be great if we can use code, result, and text in the same document? So what we are doing previously, bila kita lakukan ataupun when we deal with analysis, and writing up our articles, normally we will do the analysis in different software, and then we write our manuscript in different software, right? For example, let's say you are writing your articles in Word document, and then you're running your analysis in SPSS. So normally what you will do is that you will run your analysis in your SPSS, even running the descriptive analysis on the demographic profile of your respondent if you are doing the research survey. So what you will do is you run in SPSS, and the result that you obtain from SPSS, you will copy them and put it inside your Word document for your article writing, right? So that is the things that normally we did previously, right? So that is also the same thing that I did previously, but right now I'm changing it into a different scenario whereby I'm not using the SPSS anymore, but I'm running everything in my R Markdown. Okay, so this is one thing if we want to look at it. Your result and plots were automatically generated from your data, so your document will updated if your data change. So this is what we said just now. Suppose that we have a data set, and sometimes the data set is not completed yet. So we are running the first 30 data set, for example, and then there are more data coming in, and we keep key in more data in order to complete our research. So what happened if you already run your analysis previously and you get the result, and suddenly you have more data. Okay, you have more data and you have to rerun everything once again. Of course, if you are doing it separately, for example, if you're using SPSS and then you're using words for your document, so you have to rerun your analysis in SPSS and copy the result that you get from the SPSS into your words document. So this, if you are using R Markdown, you can avoid this kind of things. Okay, you don't have to do that anymore, because once you updating your data in your R Markdown, your document also will be updated, okay, concurrently. So you avoid the hassle of doing things all over again too many times. Okay, the file format of your document was future-proof, and then I will show you later on. And the syntax for this was easy, because in our Markdown, we are only using plain text. And of course, there will be some other R code chunks that you need to put in order to run the analysis. But that one is not, we put it aside first, all right? So this is the thing that you have. So this is one of the R Markdown document. You can see on the right hand side over there, you have a notebook example. So you can see that there are plain text. Okay, you have the plain text notebook example. This is R Markdown and so on. And then you have certain code chunks in order to run the analysis and give you the result. And you also can plot, give the plot into the document itself. Okay, so tak perlu nak buat plot tu di luar and then copy masuk dalam document. So you can just extract everything inside the document of R Markdown. Okay, you are using the plain text. So kalau perhatikan kat sini, all the write-up is using plain text. Okay, you don't have to think about how to make it bold in terms of clicking. If you are using Word document, you have to click the bold or the bold button, right? In order to make the words bold or italic or whatever. Or maybe you use the shortcut key. For example, if you want to make it bold, you select the words and then you control B for bold and then control I for italic. So in this case, you don't have to do that, because you just need to use certain code or syntax that will give you the results. Okay, later on, we're going to see the syntax, how it works. Okay, so you also can avoid the hassle of using file format that is too coded. For example, if you see the one on the right hand side here, this is an example if you write your document using LaTeX. Okay, this is the commonly used, document maker for university or researchers. So normally they are using LaTeX. Some journals also using LaTeX for their template. So if you don't know how to use LaTeX, so you can avoid using LaTeX, but instead just using R Markdown. That will give you a result similar to the LaTeX one, right? So this is the R Markdown. Is an easy to write plain text format for creating dynamic documents and report, right? So in this case, if you want to emphasize, okay, you want to make emphasis on the words. For example, if you want to make it italic, so you just need to wrap the words with one asterisk. one asterisk to make it bold, or two asterisk to make it bold. One asterisk to make it italic and two asterisk to make it bold. Or also you can use underscore. Okay, so you wrap the words with underscore, you get italic words. If you wrap the text with two underscore before and after, you will make it bold. For the header, normally if you are using Words document, you have to select for the header, right? You have to select the header, whether we want it to be header 1, header 2, or header 3. But in Words, in our Markdown, you just need to put a hashtag in front of a text. If you put one hash and then space and then the text, it will give you a heading 1. If you have two hashtags before the words, you have heading 2, and so on. Even for the numbered list, also unordered or unordered list, so you just need to use asterisk and so on. Okay, later on we will do this in our Markdown. Okay, this is the anatomy of our Markdown. Basically, our Markdown have three components. Okay, our Markdown have three components. The first component is what we call as the YAML header. So the YAML header, if you're talking about in our line of academic line, so we are talking about the metadata. So this is the heart of a document, whereby in this case, the YAML will consist of all the elements that is needed in order to make the document looks pretty. Okay, for example, in this case, the YAML, you have the title, you have the date, or maybe if you are writing an article, you put the author's name in the YAML and so on. Okay, so that is the first part. So in order to run the R Markdown document, you need to have the YAML. And then you have the text. So the text can be in the plain text format. Okay, you don't have to worry about the formatting, because the formatting is just incorporated by using the hashtag, by using the asterisk, and so on. So that is the second component in R Markdown. And the third component will be the code chunk. Okay, so this is the code chunk. So in this case, the code chunk refers to the analysis that you want to run. Okay, so this is the best thing when you're using the R Markdown document and R as your analysis software, whereby you can set the analysis in different files so that it won't be too congested in your document, and you can call the file for the analysis and make sure that the result that you obtain from the analysis file can be written in your R Markdown document. So that one I will show you later. How are you going to call result from the script file or the code file, the analysis file, and put the result in your R Markdown document. So in this case, whenever you change anything in your script file, it will also change the information in your document concurrently. Okay, so that means you can reproduce the element from time to time without doing any hassles. All right, so that is the three elements or the three component in R Markdown. So without these three component, it won't run. Actually, with only one component that is the most important part will be the YAML, you can also run the R Markdown, but there will be nothing inside there. Okay, it will just give you the title. Okay, what can you do for the output format? So this is what you can do with R Markdown. Okay, R Markdown together with Knitr package. So this is a package. R Markdown is a package. Knitr also is an R package. Combining these two packaging, you can create books. Okay, you can write a books. You can write journal article. You can come up with a journal article. You can come up with a long document, a long form of document. You can also come up with a slide presentation. In this case, you can create IOI slides. You can create a slidey. You can create a beamer. So beamer actually most commonly used presentation created by LaTeX. Okay. You can also create PowerPoint presentation, and most importantly, you can also create Reveal.js presentation. Reveal.js presentation is more in terms of an interactive presentation that you can display on a browser. Okay. You can also create a document plus the code. You can create HTML document. You can create PDF, LaTeX, interactive notebooks, and also creating a dashboard. And using the Markdown package, you can also create a website. I will show you an example later on. So this is what is going on when you run your R Markdown document. So from your R Markdown document, together with the knitted package, it will convert the R Markdown document into a Markdown document. And from the Markdown document using a package Pandoc, it will create your result or the document that is needed. Either you want it to be in terms of HTML, a website, or maybe you want it in the form of PDF, maybe you want it in the form of Words document, or maybe you want it in the form of presentation based like a PowerPoint or Reveal.js. So that is the flow of knitting the R Markdown document. Okay, before we go for the syntax, let me just show you one example, or not one example, several examples on the format that you can obtain by using R Markdown. Okay, for example, just now I said that you can create an interactive presentation on your browser itself and everybody can access this through browser. Okay, for example, in this case, this is one example of a Reveal.js presentation where you can access this presentation through a website. You can publish this on a website. Okay, so this is a presentation built using R Markdown, whereby in this case it can be interactive. If you are teaching your students, you can write everything inside here. For example, up here, down here, you have the brush key, and then you can choose whatever color that you want, and then you can just write. Okay, so you can just write everything if you want to show a graph or whatever. So you can use these techniques. All right. So this is Reveal.js presentation. Okay. So another one is that you can also create a website. Okay, you can create a website. For example, I've created for my course that I'm teaching, I created my course website. So this is my course website. So this is a website whereby I created for the course for MAT 111, 112 and MAT 402, where you have everything on a course website. So this is an example of a course website where you can put everything, you can embed learning videos inside your website and so on. So kalau tengok dekat sini adalah, so these are all the learning videos. So it takes some time to load. Okay, so this is a course website. Or you can also create a conference website, for example, like this one. So this is a conference website that I have created using R Markdown. Or maybe you want to create your department website. So this is one example of the department website. Okay. On top of that, you can also create online books. For example, if you are doing a conference and then you have an abstract book that you want to share with your audience, you can create an online book like this. So this is an online book on the ICMS 2021, where you have the abstract everything inside the website. Okay, so you can toggle the abstract over here. You can read through. You can also print this on a document. Okay, so this is some example of what you can do with our Markdown. Okay, any questions so far? Any questions so far? There. All right. So let me just continue. Okay, this is the basic syntax of using R Markdown. So you can just go to on the left side and the right side of the presentation. So on the left side is what you write in R Markdown. On the left side, on the left side is what you write in the Markdown document, and on the right side is what it produces. Okay. For example, in this case, if you write italics and it is wrapped with one asterisk before and after, it will give you the italics words. If you wrap it with two asterisks before and after, it will give you a bold letter. So if you put a backtick before and after words, it gives you an inline code. For subscript, you just need to put tilde between the numbers. For example, in this case, you have sub tilde to tilde. It will give you sub for tilde. And then if you want to have it superscript, just wrap the number with the, not hashtag, the head. We call this head. Or in mathematics, we call the power sign, right? For strike through, you just wrap the words with two tildes before and after, and you get a strike through on the right hand side. And then you have the escape, n dash, m dash, just simply by putting it in the form of double hyphen and triple hyphen. Okay. For block code, you just put greater than sign and then whatever words that you want to write in terms of block code. So it gives you something like the one on the right hand side. And then for the header, one hashtag for header 1, two hashtag for header 2. Okay. For line break, you end line with two spaces or just put a backslash. For example, in this case, if you didn't put two spaces in between, even though it is in different line, for example, in this case, roses are red, violets are blue. But after the red here, there's no two space. Okay, just one space, for example. It will write it in the form of a single line, something on the right hand side. Right? Okay, if you put a backslash, for example, in this case, roses are red, and then backslash, the backslash here will give instruction that the next words will go to the next line. So that's why the result on the right hand side give you roses are red, violets are blue on the second line. Okay, so that is what you have over here. And then this is another one. If you want to come up with an unordered list, just put hyphen before the unordered list. And then you have unordered list, and then you have the sub item. Just tap a little bit, give some space before you put the sub item, and then you have the triple sub item over here. Okay, just make sure there is a space. In order to get the sub item, you just need to tap one, and then the third one will be just tap another one. For ordered list, just put a number dot, and then you have the ordered list. For example, in this case, 2 item 2, and then dash sub item 1 sub item 2. It will give you item 2 sub item 1 sub item 2. So it will generate the numbers automatically. If you want to change the generation of the list over here, that one will be discussed in the later webinar. Okay, so in September. Okay, that one is advanced or intermediate level of doing this using R Markdown. Okay, if you want to write, if you're a mathematician, if you're a statistician, you want to write equation. So you can write inline math equation by wrapping the equation using LaTeX with dollar signs. If you want a math block, so basically when you have the math block, it means that you will have a block of mathematical expression. Okay, there is a difference in terms of inline math dengan math block. Inline math can be used in a paragraph. Math block will create its own block. Okay, so dia tak akan masuk dalam kita punya paragraph. Okay, so for hyperlink, just text for hyperlink and then put your hyperlink inside a bracket. So it give you the hyperlink. For a footnote, just write whatever that you want to write, and then the footnote will be written in square bracket with head function. And then to give the footnote over here, you just put the head function here. For example, in this case, square bracket, open square bracket, and then head 1, close square bracket, and then colon. You have here is the footnote. So what it can be shown here will be a footnote number 1. So you have number 1 over here, and the footnote will be written at the end of the page. Okay, so here is the footnote text. Okay, if you want to write something as a comment and you don't want it to appear in your document, it's just something that gives you a reminder in your R Markdown document what you are doing, but you don't want it to be displayed in your final document, just wrap the text like this. Okay, you have less than, and then this is what tanda seruan. Bahasa Malaysia, bahasa Inggeris apa dia? Tanda seruan. Lupa dah. Okay, and then you have the and dash, and then greater than. So this is a comment that won't be shown. If you look through over here, it doesn't show in the right hand side because this is just a comment where it can only appear in the R Markdown document, but not in the final document that you produce. Okay, so that is basically some of the syntax, basic syntax. So this one we will be doing it later. So time for practice. Everybody should already have on their laptops R and R Studio installed in their laptop if you want to do it offline. But we are not going to do this now. So alternatively, we can also use the cloud version at Posit Cloud. So you have this one. So we have the Posit Cloud over here. So later on, I will show you how to use the Posit Cloud in the hands-on session. Okay, kita akan skip yang ni dulu. Okay, if you are not sure you are a programmer or not, so basically you don't have to worry so much when you have to do writing the code for the analysis. All right, so this is the code chunks for R. So right now we already have ChatGPT that can help you in term writing of the coding. And bear in mind that if you are using R, we have a large community of R that can help you if you have any question, if you have problems writing your own code. Okay, normally if you stop somewhere, you can just ask whatever problem that you are facing in the R community, and normally they will be very helpful in terms of giving you the answers and giving you advice on how to solve your problems. In general, the code chunk is given like this. So we have this component. So you wrap your code chunk with this language programming. So we have R here, refer to the language programming that you are using. If you are using Python, then you will write Python instead of R. Okay. And then you have the label. So this label here, my test chunk here, label here is very beneficial if you are writing your academic, if you are writing your manuscript and you need to make cross-referencing. For example, you need to cross-referencing something, so you need the label. Okay, so you can just write the label and it will cross-referencing to that particular information. So these are some of the options that you can use in your code chunk. For example, if echo is true, that means it will display the code chunk in your output. Okay. So if you put here echo is false, then the code chunk will not appear in your documents. So normally this is what we are doing. If you're writing an academic or for an article, normally you don't want the code that you are writing in your R Markdown to appear in your final document. So you can use echo false. So when you use echo false, this information will not appear in your final document. It will just evaluate or calculate or create the output. So there are several options that we can think of later on. All right. So the backtick, the triple backtick before and after the code is basically how do you says that your code start and ends. So this is the first one, the first line over here on top. This is starting the code, and then the bottom one will end your code, and you will write the code in between of this triple backtick. Okay. So for example, this is a test chunk library ggplot. So it will run the library for ggplot. Okay, so that is the one that I just explained what it means by echo and so on. Okay, this is a setup chunk. Normally, this is when you run R Markdown, you can start with a setup chunk whereby this will control the global information on your R Markdown. So later on, we're going to see this later. Okay, normally an R Markdown document start with a chunk that used to set some option and load required libraries. So this is something like to start something, you need to perform certain tasks. For example, if you are driving, in order to start driving, you need to start the engine first. If you didn't start the engine, you cannot drive the car, right? So this is the same thing. If you don't put some setup, some option to start the document, it won't run, right? So this is another things that I just gonna skip this one. So if you want to include image, so there are several ways in order to include image. So one is by using the code chunk like this. This is to include plots. You can also include tables. Later on, I will show you how we include tables. And then you can also use inline code. For example, inside your text, you can include code with the syntax, one backtick, and then R that refer to the programming language that you are using, and then your code. Okay. So later on, we're going to see an example. For example, in this case, if you write down R4 plus 4, so that means it will use the R programming and calculate 4 plus 4, and it will output it in your document. Instead of showing R4 plus 4, it will automatically put as 8. Okay, in your final document, it will show 8, not R4 plus 4. Okay, so this is another tables. For example, in this case, if you run these tables, okay, if you run this analysis in R, and then you put down there num diamonds equal to n row diamonds, so this will give you the number of rows that your data has. So if you write your document, there are R nums diamonds. So remember here, down here, The R num diamonds is actually the number of rows for the data set. So that give you the total number of data that you have in your data set. Okay, so it will result in the information. There are 5,340. So we have 5,340 in this case. So if you see here, this one. So this is 53,940 rows, right? So it gives you the result. So that means you don't have to calculate. You don't have to look at the data, how many data that you have. So you just give the command. There are 53,940 rows in the diamond data set. So this is why I said it will be reproducible. So whenever you change your data, it will automatically change the information in your document. Okay, without doing it manually. Okay, normally kalau sebelum ni kita run analysis menggunakan SPSS. Okay, when we do analysis using SPSS, and then you change. Okay, you make some changes, right? So you make some changes in your analysis, then the output will display different information from the one that you have written. So what you will do instead of doing it, you will copy the result, the new result, and then paste on your document, right? So that is what we are doing previously. So if you're using R Markdown over here, whenever you change anything in the R script, in the code, you don't have to change it anymore in your R Markdown because it is automatically changes according to your data. Okay, so that is what we are doing right now. Nanti saya akan tunjukkan macam mana dia berlaku. So let's just go through this one first. Alright. So inline code with Python. So can we use other software? Yes, we can use other tools of software in R Markdown. For example, if you are using Python. So however, at this moment, it is not direct when you use Python. So you have to use a package called Reticulate in order to run Python in R. Okay. So this is what you have. So you have the backtick and then you have Python. However, in order to run everything using Python, you need to load the Reticulate library first. And of course, before you load the Reticulate library, you have to install the Reticulate library into your R Markdown, okay, into your R Studio or your R environment. Okay, so when you run this, my number is equal to 4 plus 8. So print my number. So it will calculate 4 plus 8 equal to 12. So when you print the number, the result will just show you 12. Okay, so that is if you're using Python. Okay, so if you're using reticulate function in R, so in this case, kalau you gunakan Python, you boleh gunakan macam ni. But if you want it to be using R, so you have to use reticulate package. Just by my number. So this is my number. So it gives you the same information. Okay, so okay, the final piece before we go for the hands-on. This is what we are always did, right? So kalau sebelum ni ramai yang menggunakan Mendeley, ada yang gunakan EndNotes, right? And then luckily now Mendeley you can incorporate with words. You can link Mendeley with words. You can link EndNote with words and so on, right? So same thing with R. Before this, you have to do it separately. But in terms of using R, you can do it once. But instead of using Mendeley, in R Markdown, we are using what we call as a reference manager software called Zotero. Okay, this is a free software and it's already embedded in R Studio or in R Markdown. Okay, so how to perform the citation? Okay, there are several ways that you can perform the citation. Nanti saya akan tunjukkan kedua-dua cara. One is by creating your bib tag reference library file first. whereby the bib text reference library can be written like this. So this one, kalau katakan nak gunakan this one, so takkan kita nak tulis satu-satu kan, you don't have to write all this once, okay, one by one, so you don't have to do that. You can just extract the information from the metadata of your document or your article that you are using in your writing. Okay. For example, let's say if you want to have one example, let's say you take Google Scholar, for example, and then you search for your article. For example, in this case, let me just search for partially square. Okay, let's say we took partially square. Add all that. Okay, so you have this one, right? So let's say we have the books here, advanced issue in partially square, such a equation modeling, and you want the bib text. Okay, what you can do is just simply click on the cite function over here. So this will give you the citation format, whether you want it to be MLA, APA, Chicago, Harvard, and so on. So what you can do is just simply go to the bib text over here. And this will give you the bib text, okay, the reference or the metadata, and you can copy this metadata and create your own bib text. Okay, so you can compile this everything. So I will show you this one later on when we are doing the hands-on. Okay, so saya just tunjuk satu dulu so let's just go through this one later on. Okay, so we are going to use Zotero. So this is already built in RStudio. So this is the way how you write the bib text. And in order to make sure that you can link your bib text files, you have to add the bibliography example bib or whatever file name that you put in as your bib text file in the YAML header. Okay, for example, in this case, you add bibliography, and then this will give you the file name of your reference file. Okay, so you compile everything in one file, and then you can just put in bibliography colon, and then whatever file name that you have given into your bib files. All right. So once you did this, then you can call your citation within the R Markdown. Okay, so how to create the citation? Okay, this is the left side is what you write, and the right hand side will be what it is appear in your document. For example, in this case, if you write blah blah and then square bracket hashtag, this will be the reference for your article, share 2014 semicolon at lotteries 2012, and then close the square bracket. In your document, it will write blah blah share et al 2014 lotteries et al 2012. Similarly, if you write like this, so share et al says blah, so it will report as your document. It will be share et al say blah 2014. So the minus sign in front of the alias here refer to that you will just write the years. Okay. If you write without the minus, Shah 2014, it will show Shah et al 2014 say blah. Okay. So this is how you write the citation. Right? Can you use other citation format? Yes, you can use other citation format. If let's say the article or the journal that you are sending your article is using Chicago, then you can use Chicago as your citation format. How to do that is just by going to the Zotero organization website and download the CSL file. Okay, So download the CSL files and then you can just put the CSL as whatever file that you are using. Okay. So in this case, it will follow the format that has been stated if you are using Chicago. Okay. So just download the CSL file for the respective format that you are using. If you are using APA 7, go to Zotero.org styles, then download the CSL file for the APA 7. Okay. And then you can add this information in the YAML header. Again, put it in the YAML header. As I mentioned earlier, the YAML is simply like the heart of the document, whereby you put everything inside there. If you are talking about the research, our academic practice, so this is what we call as the metadata. Okay, so you just put everything in the YAML header. So CSL colon and then mystyle.csl. So the mystyle here actually the name of your citation format files. If you are using the APA, when you download the APA style, it will give you APA 7, for example. Okay, so it depends. Okay, if you go through this one, let's see this one. So this is the style. So you can check for the CSL. So in this case, if you want APA. Okay, so if you want APA, let's see. Let's show the activate style. So dia tak keluar pula. My computer slow sikit Sorry Dia hang terus. Sorry nantilah saya tunjuk sebab tiba-tiba hang pula dia terlampau berat kot rasanya. Alright, so that is in term of citation. If you want to perform inline citation, in-text citation, and also the reference. So one way to insert citation is by installing the install package CITR. So when you install the package CITR, then you can just insert the citation by just referring to your bib text file. So this one is only applicable if you already have your bib text file in your system. Okay, that means you have created the bib text file earlier. Okay, at least one reference. Okay, so kalau tak ada bib text file, dia tak boleh nak guna lah. So in this case, you have to create the bib text files first, then baru you boleh gunakan the in-text citation here. Okay, so later on, I will show you how we're going to use this one. Okay, cross-referencing, the same thing. So the boot down package add capability to do cross-referencing. We can refer to section with our document, to figures and tables, and even pieces of text. Okay. So this is under the book down. So this one is not covered for this one. Nanti kita akan buat kemudian lah. So for cross-referencing, so let's say you have the label header. So katakan my header is my header. So that means when you have the cross-referencing, you have to just write down backslash and then alias reference and put the label. So this is what I said just now. Kalau dalam code chunk tadi, kita ada label kan. So kita boleh letakkan, kalau kita letakkan the reference and then nama label yang kita gunakan untuk code chunk tadi, bila kita klik dekat situ, dia akan pergi dekat dia punya label dekat situ. Okay. So same thing over here. So saya akan tunjuk satu contoh dekat sini. Yang mana kita nak refer Okay, this is one example. So let's say here, okay, macam ni, yang ni dia tulis. So this is, I mean this section here. So all these are referencing, okay, cross-referencing. So kalau kita tengok dekat sini pun dia ada kat bawah ni. So kita tengok dekat bawah ni. So text reference and then figure reference, figure 2.3. So figure 2.3, when you click this one, it will show you figure 2.3. Okay. So this is figure 2.3 dekat bawah ni. Okay. Kalau kita nak pergi balik ke figure 2.1, you click this one, figure 2.1, it goes you to figure 2.1 balik. Nampak tak? So this is what we call as cross-referencing. So this is very useful if you are producing an online document. So you can always refer to another section or figure or whatever. Okay. So this is cross-referencing. Okay. Okay, you can refer to figures and table. You can also refer to text. So yang ni kita just skip. Right? Any questions so far before we go for the hands-on? Ada soalan? Okay. So let's go for the hands-on. So saya akan tunjukkan secara hands-on. So what we're going to do is just go for the hands-on session. How we perform the R Markdown document. Okay, kita akan pergi dekat POSIX Clouds. So if you want to follow through, you can follow through. So in this case, you have the POSIX Cloud. So if you don't have any account yet, you can just, if you have an account, you can just log in. If you don't have an account, then you can just sign up. Okay, you can sign up with your email. Okay, just using your email if you already have it. So kalau nak sign up, just tekan sign up kat sini lah. So dekat sign up ni, okay, dia ada dia punya pricing. Don't use the paid one, just use the free cloud. Yeah, so cloud free 0. Tapi dia ada limit lah. For this one, dia ada limit. So shared spaces 1 with member and project limits, and then you have 50 project limit. And then you have compute hours, 25 hours per month. So that means kalau dalam masa sebulan tu you dah gunakan 25 jam untuk computing purpose, so you tak boleh gunakan lah. So kalau nak guna juga, kena tunggu bulan yang seterusnya, baru you akan dapat balik 25 jam. And then the maximum RAM is 1 GB, maximum CPU is 1 CPU only. Kalau you gunakan yang lain, you boleh gunakan lebih dari satu. And then the maximum execution 1 hour. And then you ada 5 per space, and then you have concurrent project 3 and so on. So kalau kat sini, kalau you boleh sign up, you just sign up. So kalau dah sign up, so boleh just terus log in. Okay. So let's say here I log in. So katakan kat sini. So let me just log in using my account. Okay. Kalau katakan this is the component that you see. So kalau yang ni, ini adalah muka depan. So this is the muka depan POSIX Clouds ni. So previously it is R Studio. Okay, kalau cari R Studio tak jumpa dah lah sekarang. So dia panggil R Studio sekarang ni dah tukar kepada POSIX Clouds. Okay, so dia tukar kepada POSIX Clouds, tapi the capabilities are still the same. Cuma dia tukar nama je, rebranding. So POSIX Clouds, so this is the interface, so the first interface. So what you can do is just first you can start with a new project. If you want to create a new project, okay, you can also create new content over here. So you can create new project. Kat sini ada option lah, sama ada you nak gunakan R Studio project, new R Studio project, or new Jupyter notebook project. So Jupyter notebook ni, actually Jupyter ni refer pada Julia, Python dan juga R. So Julia, Python dan juga R. So you boleh gunakan. So ini Jupyter notebook. Tapi kita nak gunakan R Studio project. So kalau kita kat sini, kita gunakan R Studio project. Okay. So dia akan ambil masa juga sikit sebab dia yang ni menggunakan internet dan juga tengok pada capabilities of your CPU lah, cepat ke, laju ke, slow ke, and so on. So this depend on the computer itself and also the internet connection, because this is cloud version. So, okay. Okay, so this is the interface. Okay, this is the interface for R Studio. Okay, this is the interface for R Studio. So kat sini kalau katakan kita nak tukar dia punya title project, so kita just boleh klik dekat sini title project kita. Let's say this one is title untuk this one lah, 7 Julai webinar. Contoh lah So kita just start kat situ. Right, so this is the interface. So you have console on the left side, and then you have the environment, and then you have the file console on the right hand side. So yang ni kita akan buat kemudian lah. Okay, so saya just nak tunjukkan macam mana kita nak bina kita punya R Markdown Academic ni So what you can do here right now, so when you are using the R Studio Cloud ataupun the POSIT Cloud here, the cloud version, if the package is not available, then they will ask you to install the package. Alright. So let's start with our document. Okay, kita nak start dengan kita punya document. So on the left side here, this is the console. So what you can do here instead, if you want to come up with a built-in document directly, tak perlu nak fikir panjang-panjang, all the YAML, everything, kita tak nak mula dari scratch. You can just go to the plus function over here. So kalau kita tengok dekat plus function on the left side here, either you go to file, and then you ada new file, and then you ada option lah. So kita ada R script, Quarto document. So Quarto and Quarto presentation. So Quarto document dengan Quarto presentation ni, document dengan Quarto presentation ni, this is the recent one. Okay. Dia punya capabilities ada dia punya pros and con compared to Markdown lah. Tapi kalau tengok dari segi dia punya production, the output production, the Quarto document is much better. Dr. Aziz yang go through Dr. Aziz punya web workshop Dr. Aziz punya workshop on bibliography. She's using Biblio Shiny. So this is Shiny web application. So Biblio Shiny is actually one of the production of Shiny web application. Okay, and then adalah yang lain-lain semua. So in our case, we want the R Markdown. So kita nak dapatkan R Markdown. So you click on the R Markdown. Okay, it says here creating R Markdown document requires updated version of the following packages. So this one is the best thing if you are using the cloud version. It will give you suggestion what to do. Okay. So do you want to install these packages now? So you click on yes, but kita baru nak start kat sini. So kita click on yes, it will install the package not on your computer but on the cloud sebab tadi kita ada 1 GB tadi kan. Dia akan install kat situ So let just it install everything first, and then barulah dia akan keluarkan dia punya file Okay, you can write down the title kalau you nak tangkap title. So let's say this one is example academic manuscript. Okay, later on, so this one will be appearing will appear as script will appear in your YAML header. Remember tadi kita kalau untuk yang R Markdown ni kita ada 3 komponen. The first one is the YAML, and then we have the text, and the third one will be the code chunk. And then if you want to write down the author, let's say you can just write down the author, Kamarul, Ariffin, contoh So this is just example. And then you have 3 options here. Okay, kat sini juga you boleh set the date, fixed date, or you can use current date at rendering. So if you are using current date at rendering, dia akan gunakan bila kita render tu, bila dia render. Okay, kalau katakan kita render besok, dia akan keluar tarikh esok. Kalau kita render hari Khamis, dia akan keluar hari Khamis minggu depan contohnya. Okay, so tapi kali ni kita gunakan yang fixed number. Kalau nak gunakan yang use current date rendering pun boleh, tak ada masalah. And then kita ada default option kat sini. So default output option. So kita nak start dengan apa? So this is just for starting. So kita boleh start dengan HTML, kita boleh start dengan PDF, ataupun kita boleh start dengan Words. Okay. So let's just start with HTML first. Okay, kita klik on HTML. Nanti kita akan tukar kepada PDF. Okay, so they give you the default. Okay, the default one. So this is the default R Markdown document. So let me make it bigger. If you want to make the appearance bigger, the words bigger, kalau yang ni nampak kecil sangat kan? Okay, mungkin ada yang tak nampak jelas kan? So kita boleh besarkan dia. So how to change all these things? You can just go to Tools. Under Tools, you have the Global option or the Project option. If you use the project option, it will only change on the project that you are working on. If you choose the global option, it will change everything. Bila you buka kat semua lah. Kiralah mana-mana pun dia akan tukar terus semua. So kalau kita tengok dekat project option, so it will be the same thing as the one. So kalau tengok yang ni, kalau kita tengok dekat global option, dia ada option lebih banyak sikit lah. Okay. Tapi sekarang ni, let's say kita just nak ukar dekat the project option saja. So let's just change in the project option. Okay, kat sini, kalau kat sini the project option kita tak boleh tukar banyak sangat. Okay, kita ada yang general, code editing saja dan sebagainya. So if you want to change the text size, so it is not available in the project option. Okay. So contoh kalau katakan kat sini kita tukar size ni kecil sangat, kita tukar besar, jadikan besar So you can just go to Pro Tools, Global Options. And then under Global Option, kita ada Appearance. Okay. So di sini kita boleh ubah. You can choose the theme. Kat sini, the default theme is Modern. You can choose Sky. Kalau nak. So they just biarkan Sky, Modern. And then you can also change the editor font size. So if you look at this one, so kalau kita tukar ni di Sky tadi, so kalau kita apply, tak ada beza sangat So nanti dia akan beza kat nanti Kalau kita tukar dia punya font size, let's say from 10 you change into 14, so it will show the font size change into a bigger size. Kalau yang tukar dia punya theme, okay. If you want to change the theme, so right now the text mat default. So let's say kita nak gunakan theme yang lain, Twilight. So this is Twilight. Okay, kalau tomorrow, so this is tomorrow. Kalau kita nak gunakan iPlastic, so this is iPlastic, this is KR term, and so on. So kita ada materials. So kita just guna yang default lah. Alright, so kita just ubahkan dia punya teks jadi besar sikit, jadi 14. So apply and then click OK. Okay, so right now you can see that the console here, you have a bigger text size. Okay, nampak lebih jelas sikit lah. Okay, boleh So any questions so far? Okay. Okay, let's say we want to run this. Let's say we want to knit this. So kalau kita guna kat sini HTML document, dekat atas ni ada knit button. So under knit button, kita ada knit to HTML by default sebab kita gunakan HTML tadi kan. But we also have other option whether you want to knit it to PDF or knit it to words. So kita need to HTML dulu, tengok macam mana apa yang kita perolehi. So if you need this, and then it asks you to give a file name. So katakan kita gunakan kat sini. So this is demo 1, contoh And then you must put the extension file for R Markdown. For R Markdown, the extension is RMD. Capital letter R, small letter M and D. So the file extension will be RMD. So this refer to R Markdown. So you have to write demo.rmd, capital letter R. Okay. So save this one. So it will render. So this is the result that you have. Okay, this is in the form of nampak sebab dia buka dekat dalam ni. Dia buka dekat saya cuba masukkan dalam ni.
Cik Kamarul, ada Dr. Nurin nak tanya soalan?
Okey. Ya, Dr. Nurin.
Cik Kamarul, yang demo HTML tadi Cik Kamarul ambil dari mana?
Demo HTML
yang kita nak save file tadi tu kan? demo1.html tadi tu kan?
Okey, yang ni sebenarnya kita namakan file tu. So saya ulang balik saya ulang sekali lagi. Okay, saya buang dulu. Let me just repeat the same process. Okay, kita nak create kita punya R Markdown file. So first you go to file, sama ada gunakan file dekat sini, klik kat sini new file, ataupun kita boleh pergi dekat ada green plus sign ni. Nampak
Okay.
Nampak tak?
Nampak. Dia ada.
Okay, green plus sign ni, dekat green plus sign ni pun ada juga. So kita boleh pilih R script, auto document, R Markdown dan R Markdown. So kita ambil yang R Markdown ni. Okay, kita ambil R Markdown. And then kat sini dia bagi option kita nak letak title apa. So macam tadi kita letakkan, okay, this one is example academic writing. Okay. And then kita boleh letakkan kita punya author name, kalau kita nak letak author name. So kalau kita nakkan kita punya tarikh tu fix, kita boleh letakkan tarikh fix, kita untick this one, kita boleh letakkan tarikh fix kat sini lah. Kalau kita tak nak gunakan tarikh fix, kita nak tengokkan gunakan tarikh yang kita render, kita need kita punya ni, kita just click on this one lah. Okay. So use current date when rendering document. So kat sini kita gunakan HTML. Kita pilih HTML dulu and then just click OK. Okay. So kalau tengok yang ni, let me just click this one, Control Shift 1. Okay, this is the document, right? Tapi kalau tengok dekat atas ni, document ni dia tulis untitled. Betul? Okay, dekat atas ni dia tulis untitled So untitled ni maksudnya kita belum save lagi. So either kita pergi dekat file and save as, ataupun kalau kita need terus this file, dia akan minta untuk kita save dahulu. So if you need this file, so it will ask you to name the file. So kita letakkan nama dia, let's say this one, kita put it as demo 1, and then the file extension must be RMD. Okay. So kalau kita gunakan Quato, dia punya file extension adalah QMD, small letter Q, small letter M, small letter D. Tapi kita gunakan R Markdown, kita punya extension RMD, capital letter R, small letter M, small letter D. Okay, kita save. Okay, so kalau tengok kat sini sekejap saya balik this one. Okay, kalau tengok dekat sebelah kanan ni dia akan create tadi sebenarnya dia dah pop up tapi dia pop up dekat window lain sebab saya guna window as my screen sharing. So dia tak tunjuk lah. So kat sini tapi saya akan buka dekat sini lah. Okay, dia ada keluar kat sini. So bila kita run dia akan keluar demo 1 HTML. Nampak tak? Sebab kita punya output kat sini adalah HTML document kan. So dia akan create HTML document dekat sini. So kalau kita buka yang ni, open in editor, kita boleh buka dalam editor ataupun kita boleh buka dalam browser. Let me just open this in editor. So this is the HTML file. Of course, bila buka dalam editor, dia gunakan HTML code lah. Yang mana tak belajar HTML, tak belajar Java ke benda, kita pun tak tahu apa benda ni kan. So kalau kita nak preview, kita boleh preview dekat sini lah. Okay, tapi kat sini tak keluar kat sini, tak apa saya tutup dulu. Saya buka dekat dalam kita punya file ni. So let me open this in web browser. Okay, ini result yang kita dapat tadi. Nampak tak? Okay, yang ni yang default punya Okay, this is the default HTML. Nampak? So ini yang tadi kita buat, kita tak ubah apa-apa kan. Kita just letakkan title, kita letakkan nama kita as an author, and then kita letakkan dia punya tarikh. So yang ni kita render pada hari ni, dia keluarlah tarikh hari ni. Kalau kita render esok, dia keluar tarikh esok. Sebab kita dah letakkan guna tarikh semasa rendering. So this is the result that you have. Okay, this one is dalam bentuk HTML lah. So boleh tak kalau kita nak buat dalam bentuk selain daripada HTML? Boleh, tak ada masalah. Okay. So contoh saya tutup yang ni dulu. So suppose that you want to change this into PDF. Tapi bila kita gunakan PDF, dia akan gunakan PDF latex. So of course bila kita gunakan PDF, dia akan install satu package yang dipanggil sebagai tiny text. Okay, dia akan install satu package yang dipanggil sebagai tiny text. Alright. So kita gunakan yang tu. So let's just click on this one. Kita boleh tukar kepada need to PDF. Nanti kita akan tengok apa perubahan yang dia buat pada kita punya YAML. Okay, nampak tak kat sini? Kita ada PDF document dah kat sini. Okay, so kalau kita buat PDF document, saya akan share saya punya screen satu lagi. Yang ni dia tunjuk screen yang lain. So stop presenting. So this is the dokumen yang terhasil. Okay, yang ni yang dalam PDF. Okay. So yang ni yang dalam PDF. Okay. Boleh? So bila kita run ni, so of course yang atas-atas ni kita boleh ubah lah. So all the top part ni kita nak ubah ikut kesesuaian kita punya journal and so on. This one kita boleh ubah tapi yang tu adalah untuk yang advanced sikit. So that one maybe in September kita punya guest speaker akan terangkan macam mana kita nak create all these things. Okay, saya tak cover hari ni lah. Okay, kita tak sempat nak cover untuk hari ni. So that one lebih kepada kita nak design kita punya format yang nak customkan kita punya format. Okay, so this one kita akan buat kemudian lah. Tapi saya akan tunjuk contoh nanti satu contoh. Okay, so this is the PDF file. Okay, this is the PDF file. Kita ada dekat sini. Kita ada dia punya text and then kita ada dia punya output. Kita ada dia punya plot, everything inside a document. Kalau kita ubah sahaja, kita akan dapat nilai benda yang berbeza. Okay. Contohnya kalau saya nak ubah kat sini. So let's say this one, kita dah ubah dekat sini. Let me just change this one. Okay, let me share balik saya punya window tadi. Saya nak share entire screen lah boleh tukar sikit Saya dah susah kan. Saya share entire screen dah senang Kalau salah bacaan akan dari. Salah apa tu Puan Razanawati? Kalau salah apa benda bacaan akan lari. Okay, saya akan tukar ya. So let's say this one ya. Okay, let's say this one. Okay, kita ada default ni. Okay, suppose that saya nak ubah sikit So let's say saya nak ubah. So katakan kat sini saya nak letakkan dia punya table of content. Okay. So saya tambah sini table of content is true. And then kita letakkan number section. Kalau dia salah, dia akan bagi tahulah. Dia tak akan run Okay, 3. Suppose that saya buat yang ni, let's say we just padamkan yang HTML dulu. Saya akan tengok betul ke tak Kalau salah, dia akan bagi tahulah. So nampak tak? Bila kita letakkan kita punya table of content, dia akan create kita punya table of content directly. Tak perlu nak fikir-fikir dah Nampak So tadi saya tambah satu benda kan. Saya tambah table of content true. So dia akan keluarkan kita punya content dekat sini. So kita tak perlu nak fikir nak numbering ke whatever. And then dia akan terus numberingkan ikut kesesuaian So nanti kita boleh ubah-ubah lah. So bila kita ubah kita akan sesuaikan lah dengan dia punya numbering. So kat sini kenapa 0.1 sebab kenapa jadi 0.1 dekat sini? So the reason that when you have this one dia jadi 0.1 sebab kita punya hashtag ni kita start dengan 2. So that means 1 dah missing. So kalau kita nak jadikan dia 1 bukan 0.1, kita kena letak kat sini jadi 1 hashtag lah. So kalau kita letak sini 1 hashtag, sini pun 1 hashtag. Kalau kita nak gunakan yang ni 2 pun tak apa. Kita tengok dia punya perbezaan So when you change this one, so let's say this one kita ada plot pressure summary cast So summary cast. So kita need sekali lagi tengok apa perubahan yang berlaku So kita perhatikan kat sini dia automatically dah ubah dia punya content jadi 1.1. So this is the first header, this one is the second header. So kita ada first header and second header and so on. So yang ni summary card. Kalau perhatikan kat sini kita gunakan this is the minimum everything. So katakan kita ubah. Kita tak nak gunakan empty class tapi kita nakkan kita punya dokumen yang sama. This is very helpful kalau katakan kita macam kita ni kalau macam kita buat kita punya annual report. Kita punya format sama je tiap-tiap tahun. Cuma yang berbeza data kita. Tapi kita punya presentation adalah sama. Sama juga macam kita buat macam ni lah. Kita punya kita punya meeting exam. Kita meeting exam kan. So bila kita meeting exam, kita present benda yang sama, slide yang sama, cuma data saja yang berbeza. Tapi every time kita nak meeting exam, kita kena buat balik the whole thing satu persatu. Betul tak? Right? So if you are doing using R Markdown, kita tak perlu dah nak buat benda tu sebenarnya. Kita just masukkan data yang sesuai, kita tukar saja data kita, format yang sama, and then kita run, dia akan terus run untuk keseluruhan sekaligus. Tak perlu dah nak fikir-fikir, nak copy paste. Kadang-kadang kita copy paste kira sendiri manually pun kita dah silap. Ada kesilapan yang kita buat. So kadang-kadang adalah human error kat situ kan. So kalau kat sini katakan saya nak ubah, so yang ni dia berubah. So bila kita tukar ni kepada yang lain, suppose that I change this one instead of using saya gunakan summary empty class ada kot maksudnya. Automatically kalau you perhatikan kat sini dia dah ubah. So empty class ni dia banyak lagi dia punya data. So dah ubah dah semua. Automatically it will change. So kita ubah saja kita punya data, dia akan ubah directly. Tak perlulah kita nak pergi copy paste. Kalau sebelum ni kita buat dekat SPSS, mula-mula gunakan data cars. So kita dapat tiba-tiba orang kata, ni salah data. So kita kena run pula sekali lagi. Tukar pula data kepada data cast pada empty cast. Lepas tu dapatkan result, copy, paste masuk dalam words. Right? So right now tak perlu dah nak buat macam tu. Okay? So kita boleh terus gunakan command sahaja. So dia akan terus buat untuk kita. Okay, boleh? Okay, ada soalan tak? Kristo? Ada question tak? So sekejap saya tengok ada question tak. Kalau salah bacaan akan larikan, salah type coding, salah letak simbol, of course yes. Kalau katakan memang kalau coding tu memang akan lari dah. So make sure kita belum kita publish tu, kita make sure kita punya coding. So yang tu coding tu adalah different section lah. Kalau nak belajar coding tu different section. Tapi as I mentioned earlier, sekarang ni kita dah ada chat GPT, kita boleh guna minta chat GPT untuk bantu kita. Kalau tak ada chat GPT pun, kalau katakan kita tak sure sama ada kita punya result tu, kita punya coding tu betul ke tidak, R ni dia ada very large community members. So kita boleh tanya, dia akan bantu kita insyaAllah. Okay. So ni kalau katakan kita gunakan tu. So let's say katakan sekarang ni saya nak buat citation. Okay, saya nak buat citation. Okay, before saya nak buat citation, saya nak create dulu saya punya bib file. Okay, saya ambil satu dulu. So, untuk create bib file, dekat sini kita ada satu, kat sini kita boleh create new blank file. Okay, kita just create, ambil mana-mana pun tak apa. Kita just ambil R script file, kita untuk tukar satu blank file. So, kat sini saya nak tukarkan dia sebagai, katakan saya nak letak my bib file. And then dia punya extension BIB. Extension dia adalah BIB, my bib file. So klik OK. Okay, dia akan keluarkan satu file yang kosong. So sekarang ni saya nak ambil tadi kan. So katakan saya ambil bib text ni. Alamak, mana pergi? Ada pula. Oh, sudah jadi. Saya buka balik Ada tadi. Okay, let's see kita ambil yang ni. Kita punya bib text. Okay. So you can just copy this one. Ada nak copy. Ctrl C. Dan kita pergi dekat kita punya file kosong tadi. Ctrl V. So ni kita punya bib file. So this will be the reference So yang ada alias ni So kita save. Okay, untuk guna citation kita perlu satu package yang dipanggil sebagai CITR. So kalau kita tengok untuk pakai CITR ni, kalau kita pergi dekat add-ins ni tidak ada lagi apa-apa. So kita kena install dulu CITR package ni So nak install CITR package. So dia ada dia punya ni lah. Sekejap saya cari dia punya CITR package kat sini. Sebab dia ada dia punya command Okay, kita boleh guna ini. So DevTool ni. So first of all kita pergi dekat console ni untuk install So library, yang ni nanti boleh buat kemudian Saya just tunjukkan dulu. Saya install dulu, lupa nak install pula. So saya install dulu package DevTools. Kita dah install DevTools kat sini. So pergi dekat sebelah kanan ni dia ada untuk install package. So klik dulu install package DevTools. Okay, so again sebelah kanan ni ada konsol. Kat sini kita ada files, plot and then packages yang kita dah install. So kalau nak install kita boleh gunakan konsol sebelah kanan ni type, ataupun kita boleh pergi kat sini package, kita boleh klik saja install package ni and then kita boleh letakkan package nama apa yang kita nak install. Kalau CITR tu tak ada kat sini rasanya, so saya tak boleh nak gunakan situ, kena gunakan yang lain. So kena guna kat dia punya tu. So kat sini once kita dah install package, kita kena load package tu dulu sebelum kita nak guna. So nak load package, kita type in library and then package name. So kita dah install DevTools Dia akan keluar terus DevTools ni and then enter sahaja, dia akan load this package and then kita nak install yang CITR tadi, so kita just copy DevTools install GitHub. Okay, yang mana dapat ni dekat sini So the current development for snapshot GitHub. So this is how you install. So click enter. So dia akan install CITR. Okay, alright. So once dah install, bila kita pergi dekat add-ins ni, ada dah kat sini install citation. Nampak tak? Okay. So kita letak kat mana kita nak install citation. Contohlah kita nak letak citation kat sini. Bawah ni kita nak tambah. Okay, kita nak tambah says apa So bla bla bla. Yang tadi lah kan. Bla bla bla. And then kita nak insert citation tadi So kita insert citation. Okay. Setting ni. Oops, sorry. Tertinggal satu option. Okay, kalau kita nak insert citation kena ada tadi tadi lupa Kita kena letak dekat YAML ni bibliography. And then nama citation file kita, tadi kita punya citation file adalah my-bib file. .bib. Okay. So bila kita dah ni barulah kita boleh add ins So kita insert citation. Alamak. Bibliography. Betul ke? Tengok balik dia punya perkataan Salah eja. Betul dah. Bibliography. Salah eja je my dash bib dash file. Ya, diffuse connection pula lah. This is the problem kalau gunakan kadang dia ada sikit tak apalah, kita load library dulu insert citation. Dia ada problem sikit so saya try dulu sekali lagi. Okay. Okay. So ni problem system so bukan masalah ni. So sometimes it happens. Let me try to figure out. Let me start session balik. Oh, tak boleh tak tak tahu pasal apa Okay. Not sure why. Tapi tak ada masalah sebenarnya. Sepatutnya okay. Let me just rename the file. Okay, saya cuba rename file Takut kot lah. Okay, this one saya tukar. Tak boleh juga. So this one is system bukan masalah ni. So tak tahu pasal apa. Tak apa. Okay, kita tinggalkan yang tu dulu. But I show you another methods. Kalau katakan kita nak buat citation. So let me just show you another methods for the citation. So I remove this one first. Okay, kita buat satu lagi method. So dekat sebelah kanan ni, kalau you all perhatikan, ada source dengan visual Nampak tak? Source dengan visual. So source ni kalau kita gunakan yang source kat sini, kalau visual ni kita gunakan visual R Markdown So kalau you klik dekat visual dekat sini, it's another way to insert citation So yang ni dia akan bagi dalam bentuk visual R Markdown. So kalau tengok dalam visual R Markdown ni, semua dah dalam bentuk yang kita boleh katakan what you see is what you get. Okay, what you see is what you get So this is the information. So katakan kat sini saya nak masukkan kita punya citation. Okay, let's say you want to insert citation. Dekat atas ni ada insert So this one ada citation. Nampak tak? So if you want to insert citation from this one, gunakan R Markdown Visual Editor. You can click on the citation. Okay, kat sini sama ada you boleh gunakan you all punya data ataupun file citation yang kita dah create tadi, ataupun you nak create yang baru. So this one kalau katakan tak ada lagi you all punya citation punya reference file, you can create from scratch. Contoh kat sini kalau katakan kita ada satu file yang kita dapati daripada kita punya cross reference online ataupun daripada PubMed lah katakan So let's say kita ada kat PubMed, kita nak search satu pasal partial least square. Contoh kita search. Okay, katakan these are the file yang ada. So kita ada satu partial least square one, kita nak cite this part So kita nak cite, so kita boleh kalau katakan kita nak tambah dekat sini, so dia akan create satu reference file, nama dia reference bib, gunakan bib text. So yang ni kita katakan kita nak ambil yang ni. So yang ni by default So kalau kita tak nak yang ni, kita boleh keluarkan Okay. So let's say kita nak ambil yang the second one. So kita ambil plus. So dia akan ambil kat sini lah. So dia akan insert this citation dekat dalam tu So kita insert saja. Kalau untuk in text, kita buat untuk in text. Okay, kalau katakan at the end, kita letak untuk at the end lah. So yang ni kita just insert. Okay, dia akan terus masukkan kita punya citation dekat dalam ni. Nampak tak? Okay. So we will already put in the citation and then kalau katakan kita letak dekat sini, kita punya reference. Okay. So when you need this one,
Kamarul.
ya saya.
Ada soalan daripada Dr. Norin.
Ya Dr. Nayan.
Citation tak keluar pada visual di visual bahagian insert.
Macam mana? Sekejap. Citation tak keluar pula di visual bahagian insert.
Dan satu lagi daripada soalan daripada Puan Razanawati.
Apa kekurangan Markdown? Kekurangan Markdown so far saya tak nampak pula kekurangan Markdown. Kalau saya compare dengan Words, cuma kalau Words tu kita orang kata apa? Kita tengok semua benda ada kat atas tu, toggle-toggle semua kan. Cuma kita kena tahulah kat mana nak tekan button and so on kan. Yang tu Words, kalau guna Words lah. Kalau Markdown ni basically bila kita kekurangan tu saya tak pernah nampak lah pula. Cuma dari segi macam tadi lah. Sometimes kita run tu, sometimes dia sistem tu down. Tak tahu pasal apa. So kita kena cari apa masalah dia. Tapi kalau kelebihan tu saya nampak banyak lah. Sebab macam-macam benda yang saya dah gunakan untuk buat Words, untuk guna Markdown ni. So saya buat website, saya buat notes, saya buat slides dan sebagainya lah. Contoh yang tadi slide yang kita gunakan pun gunakan Markdown juga. Dan kalau tengok tadi kita dah tambah kan. Okay, kita tambah reference tadi kan. So dekat sini kita ada reference. Kalau perhatikan dekat sini kita ada reference. Bla-bla kita dah tambah dengan reference kat situ. And automatically dia create kita punya references dekat akhir sekali. Nampak tak? So kita tak perlu dah nak buat benda-benda tu semua. Okay, kita tak perlu nak buat. So dia akan automatically. And these references kalau kita gunakan APA style, kita boleh format ikut APA style. Macam biasalah. Okay. So automatically dia akan tulis. So kita tak perlu nak type dah references ni. Kalau sebelum ni kita type copy paste ke apa benda. So kita kena type everything. Tapi kalau kita gunakan Markdown ni, dia akan automatically create the references without any hassle. So kat sini akan memberikan kita satu kelebihan. Sometimes kita tulis dekat reference. Tapi dalam citation tak ada. In-text citation tak ada. Sometimes kita tulis dalam in-text citation. Dalam references tak ada. So kita boleh elak benda ni daripada berlaku. So sometimes bila kita check thesis biasanya, dia akan tengok yang tu. Adakah kesemua citation yang digunakan dalam teks ada dalam references? Dan adakah semua references yang ada dalam references digunakan dalam teks? Sometimes itu benda yang kita tengok jugalah. Macam tadi Dr. Norin kata, yang dalam insert tak ada citation. Sepatutnya ada lah. So kat sini ada insert citation. Nampak tak? Kalau tak pun, kita boleh gunakan dia punya shortcut key. Control Shift F8. So, kalau kita katakan kat sini tadi, saya nak gunakan. Okay, saya gunakan satu lagi. Control Shift F8. Okay, dia akan keluar. Control Shift F8, dia akan keluar. Search for citation. Kalau tak ada dekat insert tu, boleh gunakan dia punya shortcut. Control Shift F8. Dapat tak Dr. Norin?
Okey, dapat. Terima kasih.
Alright. Okay. Right, so yang tu boleh So yang ni kita boleh terus masuk Kalau macam ni kita just tulis. Okay, katakan kita add this one. And then kita nakkan yang in text contohnya. So kita click on in text. So kita akan tulis kat sini lah. So insert. So dia berbeza sikit lah. Kalau in text dia tidak ada square bracket. Okay, so kalau tidak ada square bracket ni. So kalau in text dia tak ada square bracket, dia akan kalau kita need, dia akan keluar benda ikut yang tak ada square bracket lah. Dia akan keluar macam biasa lah. Okay, so kita akan dapat result dia. Nama author dan juga tarikh ataupun tahun dalam kurungan. Okay, dapat Alright. So saya nak tunjukkan satu sebab saya dah kesuntukan masa sebenarnya. Saya nak tunjuk satu lagi demo saja untuk you all ni. So this one is yang saya dah buat. So nak tengok macam mana kita nak gunakan all this thing So this is one of the things yang saya gunakan. Biasalah ada rakan-rakan yang minta tolong buat analisa dan sebagainya. Saya ni jenis malas nak type dalam words. So saya gunakan semua nak copy paste tu malas. And then kalau nak gunakan software, ada software yang berbayar. So kita tak ada duit nak bayar. So kita gunakanlah yang free So kita ada yang free version. So saya gunakan Control Shift. Okay. Okay, ini yang saya gunakan. So kita ada kat sini sampel, saya ambil satu. Okay, this one adalah satu contoh di mana saya buat satu table kat sini. So kita ada dia punya output dalam bentuk PDF, and then kita ada reference kita, and then kita ada dia punya sample file. So kat sini kalau katakan kita ada data file yang kita gunakan di luar daripada R Markdown kita. So ini adalah sample file kita. So this one adalah kita punya sample file di mana di sinilah kita tuliskan kita punya analisa semua. Okay. So yang ni saya bagi satu contoh saja di mana saya buat satu analisa di mana kita ada kat sini M1 and then saya tulis kat sini regression result 1 summary M1. Contohnya saya buat summary M1. Okay. Kalau kita nak runkan regression, simple regression untuk M1 ni. And then dalam saya punya R Markdown file, saya linkkan sample file tadi, okay, sample R file ni ke dalam saya punya R Markdown. So that means kalau saya ubah di sebelah sini, apabila saya run saja dalam dokumen R Markdown ni, dia akan terus ubah sekali. So kita tak perlu nak copy paste, kita ubah satu tempat je. Okay. So sebagai contoh kat sini, so kat sini saya ada untuk ni, so this one. Kalau tengok dekat sini, okay, this is the one So kita tengok estimated regression result 1 refer kepada result yang dekat sini dalam sampel ni. Sekarang ni saya gunakan M1 So saya gunakan M1. Sekali saya tunjuk macam ni kita ubah So kalau saya run this one, so result yang ni regression result untuk simple linear regression result 1 yang ni refer kepada data ataupun model M1. So when we run this one, kita need this file. Kita tengok dekat result kita. Okay, descriptive result, saya tunjuk yang ni. So ini dia punya simple regression result. Yang ni adalah untuk data tadi So kita ada horsepower real axis. So this one untuk yang model M1. Horsepower dengan real axis ratio. This is the output and this is the estimated equation untuk regression. Kita ada 30.09 kan. Tiba-tiba katakanlah you punya supervisor kata, saya bukan nak yang M1, saya nak yang M2 model yang kedua. So takkan kita nak run sekali lagi and then nak tukar pula yang ni titik-titik ni nak copy paste kan. So it will be tiresome So kalau tengok kat sini nilai so tengok perubahan dia. So Y 30.0.09886. So yang ni yang asal M1. Apabila saya tukar dekat sini sampel R ni, instead of regression result M1, saya nakkan M2. Sebab katakan supervisor minta untuk M2, bukan nak M1. Kita dah silap buat. Okay, kita buat M2. So kita save this one. And then kita rerun kita punya file tadi dokumen kita. Dan sekarang you perhatikan, tengok dekat bawah ni, dia dah berubah sekaligus. Nampak tak? So this is what we said as reproducible research. Di mana as long as kita punya data tu, analisis kita tu adalah betul, no matter what data that we are using, kita akan still dapat result yang betul. Okay? So kalau you perhatikan kat sini, perlu tak kita nak copy paste lagi? Tak perlu run pun sekali lagi kan? So kita just dapatkan benda yang sama. Right? So this is the beauty of using R Markdown together with R. And we do this everything at one place. Kita tak perlu nak run analysis guna SPSS, tulis kita punya dokumen dalam Words, and then run SPSS, dapat result, copy, paste masuk dalam Word document. Tiba-tiba kena ubah analisis, run result sekali lagi dalam SPSS, copy balik, paste pula balik dekat Words. So banyak kerja yang kita kena buat. So tapi kalau kita gunakan yang ni, sekaligus saja, tak perlu dah nak fikir-fikir banyak-banyak. And then kalau tengok dekat dia punya table pun, when we use the correct package, the table will be very very much following the APA result. Tengok so ni semua dalam bentuk APA style. Tak ada masalah dah dari segi formatting. Okay. Okay, boleh So saya rasa cukup kot sampai situ dulu Sebab nak sambung lagi pun kesuntukan masa So ada apa-apa soalan tak? Boleh run offline tak? Boleh run offline Puan Azanawati. Tak ada masalah. Yang ni saya tunjuk yang online version sebab kita tak nak install RStudio. So kalau nak run offline, kita boleh run offline, kita boleh install R dan RStudio dalam kita punya komputer. So memang boleh run offline. Cuma saya untuk hari ni kita buat secara offline online sebab saya tak naklah ambil masa lama untuk kita buat installation tu. Sebab installation tu pun kadang-kadang ada masalah kan. So kita yang tu kalau kita nak buat untuk yang offline tu mungkin sesi lain lah kita buat hands on face to face. Senang nak counter any problems kalau ada masalah masa installation tu. Tapi yang ni just as exposure saja. Okay, ada lain? Ada soalan? Tak ada Okay, kalau tak ada saya serahkan semula kepada Cik Fazilah. Terima kasih kerana mendengar. Assalamualaikum. Tak ada suara Fazilah.
Okay, sorry. Okay. Terima kasih Cik Kamarul. Dan semua peserta webinar hari ini. Okay. Jangan lupa isi attendance. InsyaAllah kita jumpa pada webinar akan datang. Terima kasih semua.